You whisper tomorrow, as if it's a promise when in reality it is nothing but an illusion. The Stoics saw this clearly. The greatest tragedy of life is not death, but the slow, quiet erosion of time spent waiting, hesitating, and preparing for a future that never arrives. We live as if time is abundant, as if opportunities will always return, as if there will be a perfect moment, but that moment is a mirage, always just out of reach. Seneca warned, while we wait for life, life passes. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself daily, you could be good today, but instead you choose tomorrow. And so we ask, how many tomorrows have you wasted? How many moments have slipped through your fingers while you scrolled, delayed, and distracted yourself? Time is not lost in grand tragedies, it disappears in the silent theft of hesitation and inaction. This is your wake-up call. This is your reminder that there is no perfect time. There is only now. If you're tired of waiting, if you're ready to reclaim your life, then listen closely, because what you do next will determine everything. 1. The illusion of endless tomorrows. We live as if time is abundant, as if our tomorrows are guaranteed. We convince ourselves that the perfect moment will come someday. I'll start when I feel ready. Next year will be different. There's still time. These thoughts lull us into complacency, making us believe that life is something we can postpone. But the Stoics saw through this illusion. Seneca warned, it is not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste much of it. Time does not slip away in great dramatic losses. It disappears in the quiet moments of hesitation, in the trivial distractions, in the small, forgettable choices that seem harmless until years have passed. Look back on your own life. How many times have you delayed taking action, waiting for the right time? How many opportunities have slipped through your fingers because you assumed another chance would come? The Stoics challenge us to wake up. There is no right time. There is only now. Imagine standing at the edge of your life, looking back not at what you tried and failed at, but at what you never even began. The book you wanted to write, but never did. The risks you were too afraid to take. The words you meant to say, but left unspoken. The time you thought you had was never truly yours. It was always borrowed, and one day it will be taken back. The past is untouchable. The future is unknowable. The only thing you possessed, the only thing that is real is this moment, right now. So ask yourself, how will you use it? Practical steps. Begin each morning by reminding yourself, today could be my last. How will I use it wisely? Identify one thing you've been delaying and take action on it today, no matter how small. Reflect each evening. Where did you waste time? How can tomorrow be better? The clock is ticking, but for now, you still have time if you choose to use it. 2. The tyranny of distractions. In an age where attention is currency, the greatest theft is not of money, but of focus. We are surrounded by endless distractions, notifications that demand our response, entertainment that numbs rather than fulfills, social media that fragments our attention into 1,000 fleeting moments. Yet, the most dangerous distractions are not external. They are the ones within us, the restless thoughts, the needless worries, the urge to escape discomfort by reaching for something, anything, to fill the silence. The Stoics understood this long before the digital age. Epictetus warned against being consumed by trivial matters, reminding us that what we give our attention to ultimately shapes our lives. If he lived today, he would see how our world is designed to hijack our minds, keeping us trapped in a cycle of endless consumption. Algorithm-driven feeds, autoplay features, and the dopamine-fueled pursuit of novelty, these things do not serve us. They enslave us. Every hour lost to mindless scrolling is an hour stolen from deep work, from reflection, from the life you claim to desire. A mind constantly distracted is a mind that never truly lives. The Stoic resists this pull. They do not surrender their time to the shallow and the meaningless. They cultivate presence, focusing only on what is within their control. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself to return to the present moment, to fully engage with the task at hand. This is not mere philosophy, it is the key to a life of depth, clarity, and intention. But distractions do not just waste time, they weaken the mind. Each moment spent indulging in them makes it harder to sit with discomfort, to engage in deep thought, to pursue something meaningful. Even seemingly productive activities can become subtle forms of avoidance. A person can read endlessly about success while never taking action. They can plan without executing, prepare without beginning. The difference between a Stoic and the rest of the world is simple. The Stoic knows when they are deceiving themselves. The antidote to distraction is discipline, not through force, but through design. If you cannot control where your attention goes, you are not in control of your life. So, ask yourself, are you choosing how to spend your time, or is something choosing for you? Practical steps. Set boundaries. Create spaces and times where distractions are deliberately minimized. Practice solitude and deep work. Spend time in focused effort, free from external noise. Challenge instant gratification. Learn to delay pleasure in pursuit of something greater. Adopt digital minimalism. Curate your environment so that technology serves you rather than controls you. Master your attention. Recognize that true freedom comes not from doing more, but from directing your mind with purpose. The world will always try to pull you in 1,000 directions, demanding your energy, fragmenting your focus. But the Stoic knows that attention is life itself, and so they guard it fiercely. 3. The fallacy of waiting for the perfect moment. We tell ourselves, I'll start when the time is right, when things settle down, when we feel ready, when the conditions are just right. But this is a subtle deception we use to justify inaction. Marcus Aurelius saw through this illusion. You could be good today, he wrote, but instead you choose tomorrow. The perfect moment does not exist. The future we imagine where everything aligns, where we feel fully prepared, where fear is absent is a mirage. Life is unpredictable, messy, and imperfect. To wait for ideal conditions is to wait forever. The Stoics understood this. They did not see action as something to be delayed until one felt ready. They saw action as the very thing that makes you ready. Hesitation is rarely about external obstacles, it is about fear. Fear of failure, fear of discomfort, fear of not being good enough. So we hide behind preparation, convincing ourselves that someday we will have more time, more skill, more confidence. But how many opportunities have already passed because of this belief? How many moments have been lost to hesitation? Imagine standing at the end of your life and realizing that all the time you spent waiting never moved you forward, that the dreams you had remained just that, dreams, because you never took the first step. The weight of inaction is far heavier than the weight of failure. Look at those who have shaped history. They did not wait. They stepped forward in uncertainty, in imperfection, in fear. They learned by doing, refined their craft through action, and became great because they started before they were ready. The Stoic acts now, not because they feel completely prepared, but because they understand that growth comes through experience, not through waiting. Practical steps. Identify your hesitation. What have you been delaying, convincing yourself that the right time will come? Act immediately. Take one small step toward your goal today, no matter how imperfect. Set deadlines. Give yourself clear timelines to prevent endless procrastination. Embrace progress over perfection. Clarity comes from engagement, not from waiting. Growth happens through action, not hesitation. The perfect moment is an illusion, but this moment right now is real, and it is yours to use. Waiting for the perfect moment is an illusion. Action is what truly shapes our lives. What is something you've been delaying, waiting for the right time? Share it in the comments below. If you're ready to take the first step today, comment, "I choose action." If you're still working through hesitation, comment, "I am learning." Let's support each other in breaking free from inaction and embracing the present. 4. The fear of failure and its chains. We hesitate. We overthink. We tell ourselves, "What if I fail?" as if failure were the end rather than the beginning. Fear of failure is not just a hesitation, it is a chain, binding us to a life of inaction, keeping us trapped in a cycle of avoidance. But the Stoics saw failure for what it truly is, not a curse, but a crucible, a necessary test that strengthens the soul. Seneca reminds us, "Difficulties strengthen the mind, as labor does the body." To fear failure is to fear growth itself. Every challenge you avoid, every risk you refuse to take, every opportunity you let slip away for fear of imperfection, these are the real losses. The Stoic does not ask, "What if I fail?" but rather, "What will I learn?" They understand that every misstep refines them, every setback sharpens them, and every obstacle presents a hidden lesson. The world often sees failure as weakness, as proof that one is unworthy or incapable, but the truth is the opposite. The greatest figures in history, philosophers, warriors, inventors, leaders, did not achieve greatness by avoiding failure. They embraced it. They understood that mastery is not achieved through perfect execution, but through relentless persistence. Every great thinker was once ignorant. Every skilled craftsman was once clumsy. Every strong leader was once uncertain. The difference? They stepped forward anyway. Failure is not personal, it is universal. It does not define you, it refines you. The only real failure is refusing to try. Practical steps. Reframe failure as growth. See every setback as an opportunity to learn. Analyze mistakes. Instead of fearing failure, study it. Ask yourself, what went wrong? What can I improve? Act despite fear. Progress is built through action, not hesitation. Move forward even when uncertain. Persist through challenges. Resilience is not something you are born with. It is built through repeated effort. You will fail, and then you will rise, each time stronger than before, because failure is not the enemy, it is the teacher, and those who learn from it cannot be stopped. 5. The weight of regret. Regret is a quiet thief. It does not steal from us in a single dramatic moment, but in the slow erosion of time wasted on hesitation, on distractions, on the illusion that there will always be another chance. The Stoics saw this clearly. Seneca warned, "Life is long if you know how to use it." Yet how many people reach the end of their days only to realize they have spent more time postponing life than actually living it? Regret is not born from failure, it is born from inaction. We do not lie awake at night lamenting the things we tried and failed at. We agonize over the things we never attempted, the conversations we were too afraid to have, the risks we convinced ourselves weren't worth taking, the dreams we abandoned because comfort felt safer than uncertainty. But regret does not arrive all at once. It accumulates. Every moment of hesitation, every excuse, every unnecessary delay adds another stone to the weight we carry. If we are not careful, we will wake up one day with a burden too heavy to bear, wishing we had lived differently, knowing that we cannot turn back the clock. And yet, the Stoic does not see regret as a life sentence. They do not dwell on what is unchangeable. They learn from it. Regret, when properly examined, is a compass. It reveals the values we have neglected, the opportunities we have ignored, the moments where fear dictated our choices instead of courage. By studying our regrets without self-pity, we gain clarity on how to live better. Marcus Aurelius often reflected on the fleeting nature of time. He understood that life is not something we own, it is something we borrow. The days we waste cannot be reclaimed. The time we hesitate is time we surrender. And so, he reminded himself daily to act as though each day were his last, not out of fear, but out of a deep sense of urgency. To live without regret is not to live without failure or hardship. It is to live fully, to embrace the unknown, to step forward despite uncertainty. The Stoic does not seek a perfect path. They seek a meaningful one, and meaning is only found in action. Practical steps. Take inventory of past regrets. Extract lessons from them instead of dwelling on what cannot be changed. Identify one thing you would regret not doing if life ended tomorrow. Begin working on it today. Reflect daily. End each day by asking yourself, did I make the best use of my time? Adjust accordingly. The past is beyond our reach. The future is not promised. But this moment, this fleeting, precious momentous, still yours to claim. Use it well. 6. The illusion of busyness. We glorify busyness. We wear it like a badge of honor, measuring our worth by how packed our schedules are, how many tasks we juggle, how little time we have to breathe. But the Stoics saw this illusion for what it truly is, a distraction disguised as productivity. Marcus Aurelius warned, if you seek tranquility, do less. Or more accurately, do what's essential. Yet most people do the opposite. They fill their days with endless tasks, racing from one obligation to the next, mistaking movement for progress. But true progress is not about how much you do, it is about what you do. The Stoic does not aim to be busy. They aim to be effective. Busyness is often a form of procrastination. It allows us to avoid the deeper, more significant work that demands real attention. We check emails instead of writing the book we've always wanted to write. We attend unnecessary meetings instead of making hard decisions. We fill every gap in our schedule because stillness forces us to confront ourselves, ask whether the things we are doing actually matter. And that is a question many would rather avoid. The Stoic approach is one of ruthless prioritization. They strip away the non-essential. They do not mistake being occupied for being productive. Instead, they direct their energy with precision, ensuring that every action is meaningful. In a world that equates busyness with importance, the Stoic moves differently. They do not chase the illusion of productivity, they master the art of doing less but better. Practical steps. Review your daily schedule. Identify and eliminate at least one low-value task. Prioritize 3 meaningful activities each day. Focus only on what truly matters. Reflect on your busyness. Ask yourself, am I making real progress, or am I just filling my time? Success is not about how much you do it, it is about the depth, purpose, and impact of what you choose to do. The wise do not seek to be busy, they seek to be effective. 7. The strength of discipline. Discipline is the great divider. It separates those who dream from those who achieve, those who merely understand from those who embody wisdom. Without discipline, even the most profound Stoic insights remain nothing more than words on a page. Epictetus reminds us, "No man is free who is not master of himself." True freedom is not found in indulgence, it is found in self-mastery. We often wait for motivation, but the disciplined individual understands a simple truth. Motivation is fleeting, but discipline endures. They act not because they feel like it, but because they have made a commitment to themselves. They show up even when it's difficult, tedious, or uninspiring. And in doing so, they forge something unbreakably an unwavering strength that carries them through adversity. Discipline is not a restriction, it is an act of self-respect. The Stoic does not see discipline as suffering, but as refinement, a sharpening of the mind and spirit. They cultivate daily rituals not for the sake of routine, but to strengthen the ability to endure discomfort, to train the will, and to ensure that their actions align with their highest values. The world admires discipline, but few are willing to embrace its demands. Yet, those who do find something extraordinary, clarity, resilience, and the quiet confidence that comes from knowing they are in control of themselves. Practical steps. Establish a structured morning routine. Start each day with intention and discipline. Identify a habit to build. Commit to practicing it consistently for 30 days. When procrastinating, ask yourself, am I being ruled by emotion or am I in control? Discipline is not a burden, it is the path to true liberation. It frees the mind from chaos, the spirit from weakness, and the will from hesitation. Through it, the Stoic does not merely exist, they thrive. Discipline is the bridge between where you are and where you want to be. What is one habit you're committed to building for the next 30 days? Share it in the comments below. If you're ready to take action, comment, "I choose discipline." If you're still working on consistency, comment, "I am strengthening my will." Let's hold each other accountable on this journey to self-mastery. 8. The courage to say no. One of the greatest thieves of time is the inability to say no. We overcommit not because we lack time, but because we fear rejection, disappointment, or missed opportunities. We stretch ourselves thin, saying yes to things that drain our energy, clutter our minds, and pull us away from what truly matters. But the Stoics remind us, a life without boundaries is a life without direction. Seneca warned, if you don't know where you are going, you will never get there. Every yes comes at the cost of something else. When we agree to things that do not align with our values or long-term goals, we are not just wasting time, we are surrendering it to distractions that do not serve us. The Stoic learns to say no with clarity, understanding that time is their most precious resource and that it must be guarded, not given away carelessly. Saying no is not an act of selfishness, it is an act of self-respect. It is a declaration that your time and energy are valuable. It is a commitment to protecting your focus, your goals, and your peace of mind. The world will always demand more of you, more time, more effort, more attention. But the Stoic understands that to live fully, one must choose deliberately. Practical steps. Learn to prioritize. Before committing to anything, ask yourself if it aligns with your values and long-term vision. Practice saying no. Decline obligations that do not serve your purpose politely but firmly. Guard your time. Treat your time as a limited resource, investing it only in what truly matters. To say no is to reclaim control over your life. It is to stand firm in your purpose, and it is to ensure that when your time runs out, it was spent on things that truly mattered. 9. The power of routine and ritual. Greatness is not the result of occasional bursts of effort, but the quiet repetition of small, disciplined actions. The Stoics understood this well. Marcus Aurelius, despite ruling the vast Roman Empire, adhered to strict routines that kept his mind clear, his actions purposeful, and his values intact. He did not wait for motivation, he relied on structure. In today's world, people often chase novelty, mistaking spontaneity for freedom. But true freedom is not found in chaos, it is found in mastery. And mastery is built through consistency. The Stoic does not leave their day to chance, reacting to distractions and impulses. They craft their routines with intention, ensuring that each day is shaped by their values rather than by external demands. A structured life is not a restrictive one. It is a focused one. By reducing decision fatigue through daily rituals, we free our minds for deeper work and more meaningful pursuits. History's greatest thinkers, from Aristotle to Benjamin Franklin, understood this. They did not waste energy on trivial choices, but channeled their focus toward what truly mattered. Routines do more than improve productivity. They build resilience. When life becomes unpredictable, as it inevitably does, a disciplined structure acts as an anchor, keeping us steady. Without intentional habits, we are at the mercy of fleeting emotions, making decisions based on mood rather than purpose. But with strong routines in place, we move forward regardless of circumstances. The Stoic recognizes that discipline and routine are not chains, but toolstools that sharpen the mind, strengthen the will, and create the foundation for a meaningful life. Practical steps. Identify 3 core habits. Choose habits that align with your long-term goals and commit to them daily. Establish morning and evening rituals. Set a structured rhythm for your day, creating focus in the morning and reflection at night. Track your progress. Monitor and refine your habits to ensure they continue to serve your purpose. In the end, a life of discipline is a life of freedom. Every small, intentional action we take today shapes who we become tomorrow. 10. The art of letting go. We cling to things long after they have passed: grudges, failures, missed opportunities, past relationships. We replay old conversations, lament past mistakes, and hold on to what no longer serves us. But the Stoics teach us a powerful truth. What is gone, and to dwell on it is to imprison ourselves in suffering. Epictetus reminds us, some things are up to us, and some are not. To waste energy on what is beyond our control is to willingly surrender our peace. And yet, so many do exactly that. They carry the weight of yesterday into today, allowing regrets to dictate their future. Letting go is not an act of weakness, it is an act of wisdom. It does not mean forgetting or dismissing pain. it means releasing its hold over us. The Stoic acknowledges emotions, but refuses to be ruled by them. Instead of clinging to the past, they direct their focus toward what can be done now. The freedom that comes from letting go is profound. Resentment, anger, grief, these emotions lose their grip when we stop feeding them. By accepting life as it is, rather than how we wish it had been, we regain control over our own minds. The past may have shaped us, but it does not define us. True strength lies in moving forward not with bitterness but with clarity. The Stoic understands that attachment to what is lost only prolongs suffering. Instead of fearing change, they embrace it as the natural flow of life. Practical steps. Identify what you're holding on to. Ask yourself if it is within your control. If not, release it. Practice acceptance. Reflect on the impermanence of life and embrace change as part of its natural course. Focus on what you can control. Direct your energy toward meaningful actions in the present. The weight you carry is yours to set down. Every moment spent clinging to the past is a moment lost in the present. What will you do with the time you have left? The time is now. The greatest tragedy is not that life is short, but that we waste so much of it waiting, hesitating, chasing distractions, fearing failure, and holding on to what we cannot change. The Stoics saw through these illusions and lived with clarity, purpose, and discipline. They understood that true power lies not in controlling the world, but in mastering oneself. To master time is to master choice. To focus only on what is within our control. To replace hesitation with action. To let go of regret, distractions, and the weight of expectations. To live each day as if it were our last, not with fear, but with urgency, knowing that tomorrow is promised to no one. So ask yourself, are you truly living or merely existing? Will you spend your days waiting for the perfect moment, consumed by busyness, controlled by fear? Or will you reclaim your time, set your priorities, and shape your life with intention? The clock is ticking. What will you do with yours?